A roar was exactly what Katy Perry expected to hear when she hit the climactic note of her stadium-shaking anthem Friday night. What she didn't expect, what nobody inside San Francisco's sold-out Chase Center expected, was that the roar would morph into a collective gasp as her giant neon butterfly suddenly lurched, dropped 3 full feet, and swayed above the crowd like a broken carnival ride. 1 second, phone screens glittered in sync with her vocals. The next, hundreds of arms flew up, ready to shield faces from a pop superstar who looked dangerously close to landing in the mezzanine. Yet Katy gripped the harness, steadied her knees, swallowed a startled syllable, and kept right on singing, forcing 8,000 adrenalized heartbeats to sink back into the beat. If you think that kind of composure comes easy, buckle up, because what happened above those heads wasn't a single night scare. It was the second major rigging mishap on this tour, and it might just change how arena shows are engineered for years to come. Ready? Let's climb back onto that butterfly, just long enough to find out why it nearly threw the queen straight into her own audience. Eyewitness phones captured the drop from every angle. From the floor, you see a shimmering winged platform float 15 feet over the pit, Katy perched Cinderella style in thigh-high boots. Mid-chorus, the rig groans, a metallic hiccup lost to most ears beneath booming drums, and jolts downward. Her mic cuts out for 2 heartbeats, not because she stopped singing, but because instinct slammed her diaphragm shut. The hydraulic system corrects, halting the fall with a whiplash tug. Listen closely to the playback, and you'll hear a tinkling click. That's the load arrestor kicking in, a last resort brake designed, ironically, to prevent exactly the kind of free fall fans feared. Up in the nosebleeds, cell phone footage catches an even more telling moment. The overhead LED truss flickers as power reroutes to an emergency circuit. Stage managers along the B-stage rail drop their clipboards and huddle, ready to call the number nobody wants to dial. Full show stop. But Katy doesn't freeze. She finds balance, flashes a quick thumbs up toward her lighting director, and returns to the chorus like a surfer reclaiming the wave that almost swallowed her. The crowd, stunned, erupts not in panic, but in louder cheers, partly relief, partly awe at the stuntwoman's stamina she just demonstrated. If you've ever wondered why superstars rehearse with ankle weights and practice aerial yoga, there's your answer. Here's where the story takes a quieter, more ominous turn. Hours earlier at soundcheck, a rear stage rigger posted a photo, quick, candid, soon deleted, showing technicians adjusting the butterfly's cable angles. Sources whisper that a new hydraulic pump, shipped in that morning, lacked a software calibration identical to the previous leg of the tour. Management had been eager to unveil the upgrade in San Francisco, the second-to-last American stop, before pivoting to Asia. They figured a single afternoon sync would suffice. But rushing hardware integration is like adding a final chord to a symphony 5 minutes before curtain. One miscue, and the overture crashes. If this feels like déjà vu, you're not alone. Just 3 weeks earlier, in Adelaide, Australia, Katy's flying sphere, a planetary orb meant to symbolize her cosmic lifetime encore, tilted 30 degrees mid-song. Video shows her gripping overhead wires, while stagehands manually realigned the globe. Tour management dismissed it as minor technical difficulty, yet insiders say insurance brokers filed a preliminary safety report that afternoon. When lightning strikes twice, insurers reach for the fine print faster than a guitar tech swaps strings. So how dangerous was Friday's butterfly plunge? Let's dissect the rig. At its core, a twin winch hoist rated for 3 times Katy's weight, plus redundancy cables known as angel lines. Those lines thread through load arresters, mechanical brakes triggered by sudden acceleration. Engineers estimate the drop hit roughly 3 feet before the arrestor locked, leaving Katy still 9 feet above fans' fingertips. That margin might sound plenty until you picture 6 tons of moving lights overhead and realize physics doesn't always ask permission. One rogue swing could shear through LED panels, send shards raining down, or snap a performer's ankle against a truss beam. When stadium doors reopened the next morning for loadout, insurance adjusters in neon vests took laser measurements where the butterfly had hung, photographing stress marks on the cable brackets. According to Backstage Whispers, the tour's underwriter demanded an independent rigging audit before the next show in Sacramento. Translation: no audit, no show. Contractually, Live Nation can't risk another malfunction. Cancellations cascade into venue penalties, crew per diems, and partial ticket refunds. Multiply that by a multi-city tour, and you watch profit margins evaporate. But liability doesn't only fly overhead, it blasts across social feeds. Within 24 hours, the hashtag butterfly drop broke 12 million views on TikTok. Memes divided into 2 camps: heroic edits painting Katy as a fearless ringmaster, and snarky ones with captions like, "Imagine paying floor prices and getting a Katy piñata." Emotional reactions skewed positive, fans praising her professionalism. Yet marketing analysts note every viral scare dents parental confidence. Remember, families buy VIP packages expecting safe spectacle, not potential trauma. Katy's public response was a single Instagram story, a screenshot of her wide-eyed, mid-drop face, captioned, "Good night, San Fran," with a winking butterfly emoji. It clocked 2 million story views, but gave no confirmation of backstage pandemonium. That silence is strategic. Artists rarely issue safety statements until investigations conclude. A premature apology invites legal admissions. A defensive tone angers fans. Better to stay cheeky, tease resilience, and keep the conversation pointed at wow factor rather than who pays what in court. Meanwhile, Live Nation's touring division convened an emergency call with the Butterfly's manufacturer, a German theatrics firm famed for building Pink's trapeze rigs. The vendor maintains their equipment functioned perfectly and suggests a software sync error. Blame subtly redirected at Katy's internal tech team. If that narrative sticks, we may see more European technicians flown in, union tensions rise, and a budget line swell faster than merch sales. What about the crew on the ground? Word leaked that Monday's Sacramento rehearsal featured a stripped-down stage plot. Butterfly grounded, LED turnaround simplified, no aerial finale. Rumor hints at a temporary switch to the Phoenix lift, an older but proven prop used on the Prismatic tour, a rising column with pyrotechnic feathers that never leaves the stage floor. Purists will feel robbed of the eye candy, pragmatists will breathe easier. Yet, here's the twist. Ticket demand for remaining dates surged by 8% after the incident, driven by fans itching to witness the show that almost went down. Psychologists call it the morbid allure of near misses, the same instinct that makes rubberneckers slow for highway wrecks. In arena economics, danger, so long as no one is hurt, sells. Katy's team knows this and quietly capitalizes. Updated ads now tout all new stage surprises. Not explicitly aerial, but suggestive enough to pique curiosity. Still, the most significant ripple might be backstage in the insurance world. Underwriters already tightened requirements after Travis Scott's 2021 Astroworld tragedy. 2 high-profile rig malfunctions in one tour invites a premium hike that could influence every pop star planning to dangle midair. Engineers might adopt triple redundant brakes, forced rehearsals with crash dummies, or new optical sensors that kill power the instant abnormal acceleration registers. Fans may never notice these safeguards, but budgets will. Behind the curtain, Katy's crisis management advisor drafts 2 parallel strategies. Scenario A, keep the butterfly, but blast media with behind-the-scenes safety footage. Hard hat engineers, weight tests, reassuring commentary. Scenario B, retire the butterfly and pivot to ground-based spectacle, selling it as a creative evolution. Sources lean towards scenario A. Retiring mid-tour invites critics to label her stunts reckless, whereas showcasing improvements frames her as proactive.
And what of Katy herself? Backstage chatter suggests she was shaken.
Adrenaline tremors is how a vocal coach described her post-show hand quiver, yet adamant about finishing that final high note without dropping a beat. Artists know arena tours eat money in stadium-sized bites. Canceling a single night can knock millions off the ledger. Resilience isn't just artistic pride, it's business acumen. If she can keep soaring safely, she retains the spectacle edge that sells docuseries and sparkly NFTs. If she grounds herself, she risks joining the safe but forgettable circuit of ballad-only acts. The bigger takeaway: in the modern concert arms race, giant snakes, mechanical moons, rotating pianos, there's escalating pressure to turn every song into a Cirque du Soleil act. Audiences cheer louder, tickets climb higher, but margin for error shrinks to millimeters. The butterfly's abrupt dip reminds us gravity doesn't care about chart positions. So, should Katy Perry tether her wings for good, or double down on sky-high theatrics? Would you still buy front row seats knowing the show courts danger? And is the thrill worth the risk when a hydraulic glitch could shift headline from dazzling pop show to concert catastrophe? Drop your take in the comments. The next time a superstar takes flight, we'll be here dissecting the cables, contracts, and clickbait that keep them aloft, or send them crashing into viral infamy. Like, subscribe, and stick around, because somewhere another arena prop is already creaking under the weight of tomorrow's headline.